All right, I want to start giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rekah Kwadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles and teachers and wise men of great millstone that I learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua. Salutations to the elect out there. All right, I want to do a quick lesson going into this video about how these devils covered up a gruesome killing of a so-called black grandmother. And this happened during the time of around 1945, as it says right there, 1945, during the time of, hardcore slavery, hardcore oppression of the so-called blacks. All right, but before I play the video, let's get this first scripture right here. This is Salakia. Let's get this one. This one right here. This is Deuteronomy 28:50, and it goes back to what? The curses. You see, that's the Lord sending a nation against us. All right, let's start at verse. Let's start in verse 48. This is Deuteronomy 28, verse 48. It says, "Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee." You see? And that's what happened. During the time of Egypt and the other captivities. Let's go to verse 49. "The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand." You see, because these devils, they brought that English, the language of English to us. Now you have a lot of us Israelites speaking English in America, which is Babylon the Great. Verse 50, it says, "A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old," which you're going to see in the video, "nor show favor to the young." You see? Now let's play the video. You see, because the Israelites, we've been in plenty of captivities. You see? And this is one of the worst ones. Especially during the time of about 100 years ago. It was very bad. These Edomites, a lot of our ancestors, a lot of Israelites back then during the 1900s, they couldn't walk down the street without these Edomites trying to unalive them. All right, let's play the video. Salakia. It's not playing. What's going on? Let's check the sound. All right, let's see. Let's refresh the page. Salakia. It's just Satan. Because it was just playing perfect at first. All right, let's see. All right. Now it wants to start acting crazy. This is crazy. All right, here we go. Let's play this video. Let's wait till this stupid ad go by. Oh, boy. All right.
1945 was sadly.
Let's start it over.
FBI exposes a cover-up of a grandmother killed by the police. Put up the family full mass. The story has an irony that I must mention. Mary and Dan DeBartolabin, center and right, whose grandmother, Miss Hattie, on the left, was killed by law enforcement in 1945. Finally, they have now received closure after the federal government released documents pertaining to the murder and cover-up of their grandmother. I happen to know Dan. I've worked with Dan in 2 previous assignments with an organization called Stand Up, Georgia Stand, and another organization, Recovery Consultants of Atlanta. He is a remarkable individual. and has always been extremely compassionate about the needs of others. It was in March 1945 when 4 white police officers entered Hattie's property in Alabama, accusing Miss Hattie of making and selling untaxed whiskey. The 46-year-old black mother of 7 denied the allegation and also welcomed the cops to search her property. But the cops ended up killing her by punching her repeatedly and breaking her neck in front of her 15-year-old son, who was arrested for trying to help defend his mother. However, an FBI investigation conducted at the request of the NAACP determined she had died of a heart attack and closed the case a few months later. One of the cops involved in her death, Clyde Smith, later became sheriff of the county. The case.
And you see, I'll pause the video right here. You see, that goes back to what? The perpetual. Why would he, attack her so viciously? These cops, these Edomite cops, why would they attack the so-called black woman so viciously? Because that goes back to the curses. And not just the curses, but also that perpetual hatred. Let's see. That Esau has for Jacob. Let's see. Let's get this scripture. Salakia. Let's see. This is let's see. Here we go. This is Ezekiel 35 and Ezekiel 35 and 5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time of their iniquity had an end. All right, this is verse 11. Let's scroll down. It says, therefore, as I live, said the Lord, I will even do according to thy anger and according to thy envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, and will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. You see? So the Lord is going to judge you, Edomites. You see? You're going into captivity, and the Lord is going to pay you back double. You see? The scriptures also say, he that killeth with the sword must be killed by the sword. So the payback is coming to you, Edomites. Just you wait. We're gonna do worse. You damn devils.
Case remained under wraps for decades until last month, when the National Archives and Records Administration released 69 pages of documents from the investigation under the Civil Rights Cold Case Records Collection Act, which was signed into law by then President Donald Trump in 2019. The cold case of Miss Hattie was the first set of records released under the act, providing closure for the victims' grandchildren, who were never told by their parents how their mother died. Quote, I cried for a couple of days because I couldn't believe what happened to my grandmother, Mary told AL.com. Quote, it was a cover-up. Her brother Dan told CNN. That's what happened. These documents make it clear. The documents, which can be read here, shed light on a horrific case of murder by law enforcement agents